Welcome back to another episode, Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner. Danny, how was your week?
It's been good. It's been good. I don't know if you saw on Facebook, the documentary's coming out that I'm going to be in.
You have got to tell our audience what is going on there. This is so super cool, guys. Check this out.
Listen, I signed up for a documentary with Paramount Plus back in September, right? So they said it was going to come out in January or February. Well, I guess they threw out the trailer the other day.
Okay.
And everybody started tagging me in it, the trailer, on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I made the trailer. I'm in the trailer about 4 times. So I thought, if I'm in the trailer 4 times, I got to be in the documentary series a bunch of times.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping anyway. Could you imagine? Oh, you're in the trailer, but yeah, you didn't make the series.
Yeah, you didn't make the whole cut. We just we wanted people to start watching because they thought you were in it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's going to be February 6th
Okay.
on Paramount Plus, a 3-day documentary series.
Guys,
so 3 days
starting
in a row.
February 6th, Paramount Plus, you must tune in. Danny
get to see
Miner,
me. You get to-
February 6th. That is so awesome. So
Dawn.
now the clip that they show on the trailer, what clip is it of you?
Don, listen, I'm worried that it's going to... I don't know if if this thing's going to do good for me or make me look bad. I'm going to be honest with you because it's cyber sleuths. That's what they're calling it.
Sure.
Right? That's
Cyber
the thing.
sleuths.
Yeah, that's
February
what it is.
6th. Tune in.
And they're
Paramount.
saying it's about the Idaho case and how people on the internet tried to investigate it. That's basically what they're saying. And I know the one clip in the trailer, you're going to love this, Don. The one clip in the trailer, I'm ripping the Moscow PD. Now, listen, I didn't rip them. All I said was, listen, I come from a small police department,
Sure.
and I just think that you don't have enough equipment to handle a case like this. So I ripped them the night before saying they don't have a suspect, they don't know what they're doing, they're this, they're that, and they show that clip. The next day they make an arrest. So they show that video when I ripped them, and then the next day they make an arrest after I said they're not going to arrest anybody.
So honestly, you are probably a really, really strong point in this documentary to show most of society thought this and then they made an arrest.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that, but that is so cool. Were you like, oh my God, my content is right there?
It's
kind of controversy. It's kind of like you might get some hate.
But the next day, when they did make an arrest, I
Yeah.
did a video apologizing to the Moscow PD.
Oh, well, they're never going to put that on. You're going to have to then redeem yourself and be like, look, it's going to be dated stamped that you did apologize.
And then
Right.
my old podcast, the Crime Solver podcast, they have that on there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and my old podcast actually made the documentary. They showed me with the knife, because we bought the knife from Amazon that
Yeah.
we used. And
Yeah.
they showed that they showed that in the trailer, so I'm assuming it's in
That
the
is
in the
really cool.
Yeah.
That is
So-
really, really cool.
So it's going to be a 3-part series. I think I told you before.
Now, can I tell you, did they
Yeah.
let you know prior to launching, did you know that the trailer was coming out with you in it, or they didn't,
No,
the
they didn't.
public let you know?
The public let me know.
That's
I
so
had no
cool.
clue.
That's
All my
awesome.
followers started tagging me. They started tagging me.
love
I'm like,
that.
so I'm like, holy cow, I'm in the trailer. So I went live right away. Here's the cool thing. I go live to tell my followers, hey, I made the
Sure.
trailer because they're all tagging me. So I had 3,000 people in my live. I'm talking to everybody. People are asking me
Sure.
questions. The Paramount Plus producer, she comes into my live.
Wait a minute. She friended me.
Did she?
What's
Teresa?
her- Yes.
Yes.
Teresa. She's
Yes.
doing the Hampton show.
Yes.
Because I got a friend from her, and I said, oh, who? And I said, oh, God, she's friends with Danny. And then I figured, okay, she's friends with Danny. Yes, I got.
She's the producer for the Hampton
Yes, the
show.
producer for the Hampton show.
So-
By the way, Teresa, I love your work. I literally love your work. If you're watching this, I'm gonna actually tag her in this. Her work is epic. Did you see all the stuff that she
Yes,
does?
yes.
Yes, guys.
When she first called me back in September,
Yeah.
Being in this, I get calls all the time, and I want to make sure it's not fake.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Somebody playing a game on
Yeah,
me.
you have
So
to be
I gave it
super
to the
careful.
real detective, my girlfriend, and she
Yeah.
Googled and she goes, no, they have this hit show called The Hamptons, this
Yeah.
and that. So she said, no, this girl's legit. She showed it to me. But it was really cool. She came in my live.
That is so
She
awesome.
thanked me. She did this. She talked to my followers. I thought that was really nice of her.
Really cool.
That's cool that she friended you.
Yeah, so we're friends now, and I think
She must have watched her. She had to.
Yeah.
I'm sure they watched her.
Who doesn't watch?
I know.
us?
I'm sure they watched the show. But it was really
I am
cool.
so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. I'm a little scared, not gonna lie. If it's just chopped up to you being a cop hater, you're gonna have all police everywhere. It's gonna be so epic, honey.
Here's the
Because then
thing.
I'm gonna have to be defending you to the police, and you're the police.
Listen, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I was very iffy about releasing my videos.
Yeah.
I was. If you remember, me and you had a talk before I
Yeah.
released
Yeah.
them, right? And I was iffy because I said to Paramount, I feel you're gonna make me look bad. That's what
Did
I
you
told them.
directly say that?
Yes,
That's good.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
And they said, I promise you, you're gonna be happy with the results of this
Paramount
documentary.
is such a good company. They put out such great content.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some things controversial sometimes, but no, I have trust.
Right.
So as of right now, until it comes out on the 6th, I'm keeping with. I totally have trust in Paramount Plus. Love the network, but if they trash you and make you look bad, we're just gonna have to like change this instead of no meds, like Love Cops, so we don't get.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Either way, I'm okay because I get my name out there.
I know.
Actually, if I'm a little controversial, it might even get me more followers.
Good
you know?
press, bad press, it's
Yes,
press.
I'm
You
not-
actually taught me that. I'll be honest with you. You and our producer Maria had taught me that because I used to get like a little offended when I first had some popularity on Instagram. I would be like, oh, they like me, but 30,000 people said my work is wonderful, but then I have the 15 people that say like, you suck, this, that, and the other. And I would pay attention to those. And then you started making me realize, oh, those are just like low-key fans. Now I gotta work with them. So I thank the haters too now.
Yes.
So, but thank you for that.
And I only block people if they really get out of hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I will bet you I have 5,000 people blocked on TikTok.
I have so many people blocked on Instagram right now. If you go to my Instagram, you're like, oh my God, don't stop friends with me. I block them just like when, honestly, inappropriate stuff. If
Yeah.
anyone's ever like has a cat out in the rain or something bad happening to an animal, not my friend, blocked. If anyone's constant victimizing themselves, I don't have a life. Isn't it nice to be you? Da 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 da. That kind of person, get out. I can't with the negativity. If you're not like, good morning, rise and shine, let's all love each other. I'm like, get you off my page. I have a lot of people too that I have to block. Yeah, and then some people that just say raunchy shit. They say nasty shit about my models, like. You know, like grown men saying stuff about teenagers.
Oh,
but I
that's
report
horrible.
those.
Yeah,
I
that's
literally
horrible.
report those. I'll be like, this guy is like 50 and he's talking about a 17-year-old. Like, yeah. So I report a lot of people like that. I don't know if that goes anywhere. That helps.
I
try to do my part.
I reported a guy. I usually don't do this because I think just because I don't like this, should I really report him? But I reported a guy on TikTok the other day. His whole TikTok, he's a retired cop. His whole TikTok is blasting female police officers.
Oh, that's not okay.
Saying they're worthless, they're a joke, they shouldn't even be cops, they're this, they're that. I mean, his whole platform was bashing female police officers. My girlfriend was I was pissed.
He wasn't a cop.
I went on his comments. I said, buddy, whenever you like, he's one of these douchebags that drives the big truck that backs in the parking lot. I don't even. I guarantee you, this guy drives a truck with big tires. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, because they want. These trucks, so everybody knows, they cost about $2,500 a month and about $1,500 of gas. But they're willing to pay $5,000 a month to prove they're a douchebag. They love it. They'll pay $5,000 so you know it. And this is one of the guys. Okay, he just has that arrogance, like female police officers when they come to the scene. What are they gonna do? They can't help me. They can't do anything. Like honestly, his whole platform, his entire platform was making fun out of female police.
That is so not cool.
So I reported him. I reported all his videos, and guess what? They took you down.
Yeah.
Yeah. They took you down.
Taken down.
I mean, seriously, he's trying to get famous.
Well,
he's trying to
not
get
only
famous.
that though, too. That's just not really cool. You know how many people they're sacrificing themselves in all different towns and neighborhoods and cities. Females are trying to protect, and they get into that. I know some officers in New York, and they get into that field to try to really truly protect.
Right.
And to provide to the communities, and someone's going to make fun of that. What does the guy do? You got to give me his information. I got to mess.
He was well, I guess he's a content creator now, but he was a cop. He's retired.
Oh, he was.
He was a cop.
And
He's a retired cop. Yeah, and he's making fun at him. They're a joke. They're this.
Yeah.
And I said to Olivia, just this guy's attitude. Yeah. I will guarantee you, this guy was forced to resign. I will guarantee you, he was forced to resign.
How do you know that?
I can tell he's an attitude. You're never gonna make it in a police field with that attitude.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they take all that, I mean, that's serious, that sexual harassment, even talking down to female officers, there's discipline in police. A lot of people doesn't think so, but it's like the military.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get in trouble quick in the police department.
No, I would assume so too, because you guys are held to a higher standard than the public. The general public is one way, and you guys are supposed to be of authority. So yeah, I would see that too. If you're controlling what's going on in the streets within your own department, you probably can't mess with women, can't do anything. Like there are sexual harassment rules and stuff that
Yeah.
you can't, Yeah, that makes sense to me. I would think.
Yeah,
How
I
it's
mean-
a higher standard.
And it's hard for a female to even come into the police work. It's an alpha male dominant field, but we need them. My girlfriend was the best undercover ever. She
saw
was the
her.
best.
She's so cool. I saw the TikTok.
The
with her.
video.
She's so cute.
If
Yeah,
the boys could do it, I could do it. Did you
Hell
see
yeah.
that?
She is so cool. Olivia, we love you. We love you.
I tried to get her on. She won't
Yeah.
come
No.
on. And now she's just too shy. She won't come on.
You know what's so crazy about her? Like, she's so cool and seems shy and so, like, introverted.
Yeah.
But I can see her being like, get down! Like, I can see her, like, whoa, that's aggressive from such a little girl. You know?
She worked. My girlfriend worked undercover prostitution
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You should have heard
That
what
has
she
to be
said on the
scary,
phone.
though. That's gotta be so scary.
Did I tell you that? What my boss
No.
told me what she said. Did I tell you that?
No.
Okay, she was working undercover, right? We put her on
Guys,
Craigslist.
we're talking about Olivia Danny's girlfriend, who's so epically adorable and cute, and we love her. She's just shy and won't come on, but I wish she would.
They put her undercover. Well, she was working drugs, but we thought, let's do the prostitution thing.
Yeah.
So they put a picture that sort of looked like her on Craigslist. They didn't put her picture. They put
Yeah,
a
something that kind
and
of
they put a
resembles.
phone number, and they gave her a cell phone and this and that. And they said, we're going to be at this hotel, this and that. Do you know, when she worked that day, her phone was filled with calls. Guys were calling up and saying that we have casinos in Pennsylvania, right? Guys are saying, I'm going to tell my wife I'm going to the casino. I'll meet you at the hotel. It was epic. They took down so many people that day. Now, because she was, and it was just like you see on TV. One room, the cops are in, she's in this room,
Yeah.
and then they bust through the door and get
And
the
you know
guy.
what's the cool thing about that is to actually now thinking about that, using her for that, is she's so small, so cute, and so pretty.
Right.
You would never even like picture her like dressed. You would never think this is a cop. She's
Never.
the least likely person to ever look like a cop.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. So yeah, I could see how she can get away with that. And they were probably believing that, eating that up left and right. Wow.
She,
But no one hurt her, right? Like
Huh?
they can't get near her.
oh, they can get near her. Yeah, they could get near her. She was, when she worked undercover.
See, that's what scares me. That's what scares me about that. Like, that's so dangerous.
I gotta tell you a story.
Does she have a gun on her for this?
No, she didn't want to carry one. When you're undercover, you can choose to carry one or not carry one. I carried one. She did not.
I would
always
be carrying
I
my
carried one in
pistol
the middle of my
everywhere.
back.
You guys don't even know if I have one on my boot right now. Seriously.
I carried one in the middle of my back. That's where I carried.
Like right back here.
right there
Yeah.
in case they searched me, and I had it in the middle of my back.
Yeah.
But she chose never to carry for some reason. But I got a funny story. I got two stories for her. And you met her, right? They would drop her off in this, crime-ridden area, and she would just walk around, and people would approach her.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding you. And you saw Olivia. She's an Irish white girl.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I mean, she's your typical, you look up white in the dictionary.
She's so
yes.
white.
Yes, yes.
Is she blue-eyed? I think. Like,
No.
like okay, so but like the hair, like she's a white girl.
Yeah. And they drop her off. And she made a bunch of buys in this neighborhood, right? So they drop her off, and there's 5 guys sitting on a car looking at her walking down the street, and they start
my
doing
God.
this. They start going, whoop, 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 whoop. Little white girl's 5-0. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Little white girl's 5-0. And they're pointing at her, screaming that she's
How
5-0.
did they-
5-0's being a cop.
Okay. How did they know that?
Who knows, right? So she's just ignoring them. She walks, and this guy approaches her and goes to her. I don't know what the hell them guys are talking about, saying you're a cop. He goes, I sold to you last week. You bought from me last week, and I'm not arrested. Come on, I'll buy from you. When these guys are telling everybody that she was a cop, this guy still bought drugs from
Because
her.
she doesn't look like she is stereotypically what a cop looks like. She does. She looks like a beauty queen.
And listen, 7
doesn't
years
look
7
like
years
a
ago,
cop.
you know how young she looks now.
Oh my God,
She's
yeah.
40 years old, and she looks still young.
In her
right?
20s. She legit looks like she's in her 20s.
So when 7 years ago, when she was undercover, 8 years ago, when we were still cops, she looked like a college kid. You know what I mean? So she would just pretend she was a college kid looking for drugs. That's what she did.
Yeah.
And she just kicked butt. I mean, she really did.
It is so crazy. It's like she almost was playing a role of a child, but she's in a grown. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
what,
she's probably a fantastic actress. Fantastic.
she was the best. She really was. And undercover, she was absolutely the best.
Why aren't we booking her?
She's too
Come
shy.
on, Olivia, stop being
It's
so
so
shy.
weird. It's so
Yeah.
weird that she could do that, but she wouldn't come on this show.
It's probably like for her, I would assume that it's like a job. Like she knows, maybe a very task oriented person. She knows she's got to get this job done. She's
Right.
got to put these criminals away. She's got to make them believe something.
Yeah.
But if it's something like this that's like freeing, it's like, no, I can't do that. But like something within the lines of her job.
I'm going to tell you how stupid people are too. Criminals are stupid. You ready for this? We drove a little beat up Honda when we worked undercover. I mean, it looked like what you would see in a crime ridden area. You know, it beat up. This car was probably worth $1,000, $800 that we drove because you know, we were undercover. We wanted to drive this car. So in the trunk of this car, I kid you not, we kept paperwork. Because say I made a buy from you.
Yeah.
Say you came up to me and sold me drugs. I might not know who you are. So when I made a buy, I would come and give a description of the person, man. Black boots, blonde hair. And I would do a description as soon as I made the buy from you.
Right.
Immediately. We had all that paperwork and it said, Dauphin County Drug Task Force on it, blah, 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 blah. And we kept this paperwork in the trunk. There's a reason I'm telling you this, okay? Olivia makes a deal from a drug dealer to buy a gun from him. She tells the drug dealer that the gun's for her boyfriend and she's going to buy an illegal gun on the street. Okay? Guy meets her. Wait till you hear this. The guy meets her, pulls up, she pulls up. Now they're surveillancing her. He goes, I got the gun. Do you have the money? She gives him $150. He gives her the gun. Since she's a girl, you got to realize guys don't think cops. They trust women, right? Because they're thinking they want to sleep with them.
Yeah,
they really do. Guys are,
yeah.
I want to sleep with them. I want to sleep with them. They're not thinking cop. The minute they saw me, they're thinking cop. When they see her, they're not thinking that, right? So, long story short, he goes to her and she's not thinking at this point. She's thinking, I just want to get this gun. And he goes to her. Wait till you hear this. He goes to her, hey, I don't want you to get caught. We'll hide the gun in your trunk so you can drive home to your boyfriend in case you get pulled over.
No.
She's not thinking and she hits the trunk lever, right? The trunk opens. You ain't going to believe this. The minute she did that, she's thinking, no! She realized she messed up. This stupid guy goes in her trunk and there's paperwork that says Dauphin County Drug Task Force on it and all of this stuff. And she said he moves it out of the way and hides the gun. It says police on paperwork and this stupid criminal didn't see it. And they all knew it too. They were like, oh no, they were like ready to go in on it. Yeah.
But if you're not looking for something, he's like, all right, whatever, just move the shit away from the trunk.
And
but
he was like real nice. Hide the gun in case the cops pull you over.
I had to ask you went undercover for a while. Did you ever feel bad for any of these people? Like, oh man, I don't want to take these dudes down.
The one guy, because I bought marijuana from him. And I feel bad now. Like, I feel really bad because I do marijuana every day and I arrested this poor guy for selling it to me. Listen.
Was he old? Maybe he's still around watching.
No, you're going to love this story. They dropped me off in this bad neighborhood, right? So I'm standing on the corner, right?
Wait, I think he told me that someone got killed.
No.
Oh, okay. No, you got dropped. Okay.
This one, maybe I told you different. This one, they dropped me off in this bad neighborhood, and they're like, somebody approach you in a couple minutes. And they did. Boom, I'm on the street. Boom, somebody approaches me like that. Like that. Because I'm just going to tell you straight out. When they see a white guy in a bad neighborhood, they know what he's there for. They know he's there to buy drugs. So they drop me off in this neighborhood and I walk around. So they don't
automatically think a cop?
No.
So if I went down to D Street.
If you were dressed like that.
I like this D Street.
Listen, you got to realize, I grew a beard just like I have now because I was clean shaven when I was a cop. And I had a hoodie. I looked the part. I did. I looked the part. And I could talk. You know what I mean? So I could look the part. But this guy approaches me and he says, what are you looking for? I said, what are you looking for? I said, $20 rock, meaning I wanted to buy, crack off him. So
is that what you say, $20 rock?
Yeah, so you're looking.
The lingo's changed,
yes,
though, right? I'm
yes,
sure? Okay.
Yeah. So
that sounds really old.
Rock,
$20 rock.
Yeah, I'm looking for rock, $20. He's like, okay, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay, right? So I don't know if he didn't hear me right. I don't know what, he goes into this house, he comes back out, and he comes to me and he says, let's go down this alley. And I'm like, whoa, I ain't going down the alley with you. I've been robbed before. I just want my drugs. I'm not going down the alley with you. And he's going, I would never rob you, man. He goes, I just don't want us to make the deal in front of everybody. I'm like, how about this? How about I put my hand down, we bullshit a little while, and then you put your hand in my hand, and we switch the money and the drugs. He's like, okay. So we put our hands down. He puts his hand in mine. After a while, while we're talking, we switch the money and the drugs. And I'm feeling this. I'm thinking, this ain't crack.
Why? You know what crack feels like?
Well, yeah, I know how to make crack. I'll tell you.
I swear, do not let me forget this, guys. We're going to see how Danny makes crack.
Okay, so I start feeling, I'm thinking, this ain't crack. So I take his peek down. He sold me marijuana. I'm like, yo! He's like, what? I said, you sold me marijuana. I'm just looking for some crack. He said to me, this guy was the nicest drug dealer in the world. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. He's gonna give me my money back. It was like customer service. He was gonna give me my money back. What drug dealer gives you the money back? He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. Here, I'll give you your money
Maybe
back.
he knew you were a cop and he was fucking with you. And he was like, oh, I'll be just polite so he doesn't want to lock
So
my
then I
ass
think
up.
to myself, because honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, and this was 8-9 years ago, we could have cared less about marijuana. We were not buying marijuana. Believe me, as much as you think the cops could care less about marijuana.
Back then still?
Oh yeah, we could care less. We did not want to buy marijuana. We really didn't. We could care less.
That's so crazy.
But anyway, so the kid goes to me. I said to him, no, I'll just take it. I want to get high anyway.
Yeah.
He goes, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'll just take it. He's like, all right, man, if you ever need it again. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So we go to court after we arrest him, right? And his mom sees me. And now I don't have a beard. I'm clean shaved. I'm wearing a suit, right? His mom looks at me and goes, you sold to that guy? You didn't know he was a cop? And she's yelling at her son, you sold to him? What is wrong with you? So his mom comes up to me. And goes, could you give my son a break? You seem like a nice guy.
Is there anything you could have
I
done
did.
about it?
Well, yeah, the DAs, if there wasn't a victim in a crime,
Yeah.
the DA took what we said. Like if we told the DA, give this guy a break, they took
Yeah,
that
they
into
work
account.
with you.
Yeah, as
Oh,
long as there
yeah.
wasn't a victim, like a victim of a crime. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then they give the victim more say to district attorney.
Because that really is shitty. I've got to be honest. Like a lot of the time, you see someone get locked up and then ends up with felonies. Sometimes when it's not truly a felony and things like that, that ruins people's lives.
Yes.
Like I have a lot of models of mine too, and they're honest with me, and parents that'll come to me and say, "Hey, my kid wants to model or act, but honestly, there's a felony or this and that." And I literally tell them to come to my class. It's like a boot camp, and I treat them like, "Oh, you're the one that was in jail. Sit down and let's just do this. And I feel bad for some of those kids too because they're talented, they're wonderful, and they have all these things on their records. And don't get me wrong, like if it's a big mistake, fine. But if it's one small mistake, like you're trying to get by selling a little bit of a drug. So let me ask you: were you ultimately trying to take down bigger drugs? You were
of
not
course.
ever trying to like get the petty people on the street. They don't matter, right?
He just had, what you do is honestly, as a drug task force team, you have to get them guys in trouble, the little guys, to get the big guy.
Yeah.
So you have to get them because then they're under your thumb.
Yeah.
Being undercover drugs, it's the scariest, most dangerous thing
I
I've
could
ever.
imagine.
Honestly, Dawn, I almost got killed. I told that
Yeah.
story. I almost got killed doing it. And for some reason, I had like a premonition that I was going to die. I did. I hate to say that, but I remember calling my ex-wife and I said to her, hey, just so you know, if I would get killed, the kids get this, my pension will go.
Wow.
Like, I thought I was going to get killed. I swear to God. And then like 3 days later, I'm held hostage. I mean, honest to God. And I remember after the incident, I called my ex-wife and she starts yelling at me. She's like, you're too old to be working undercover. My ex-wife ripped me a new rear because I was working undercover. She's like, you're in your 40s. What the hell are you doing?
I think the audience needs to hear this. When we come back after this commercial break, would you tell us that story again when you were held captive?
Oh, yeah. Didn't
Okay.
I? Okay.
I think you did maybe once before. Guys, when we come back after this commercial break, Danny's going to tell us about how he was held captive when he was an officer. This is going to be good. We'll be right back.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome back, Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner. I love doing this show with you. I just wanted to say that. So when you do become super famous after your Paramount, you guys, if you just tuning in now to social media shows, Danny is on February 6th, Paramount. He's on the trailer docuseries. It's going to be so cool, guys. Check it out. He's probably going to get ripped apart for going off on the police like he frequently does. But guys, check it out and be there to support it. Like it, tune in. Okay. So
we'll go over. I'm interviewing a person tonight on TikTok too. We'll go over that. Yeah, we'll go over that too.
Awesome.
But yeah, Don, this is the way I look at this documentary series. Honestly, either way, I'm gonna get good press. That's the way I feel. If they rip me a little bit, people be like, "Hey, I kind of like this guy. He ripped the cops, and he was a cop," and they'll follow me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. Either way, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, the haters are as strong as the fans.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Okay, so talk to us. So tell me what happened. We were just talking about, if you guys are just logging in now, we were just talking about officers and the drugs and all that kind of stuff. You were held hostage.
Yes, I thought this was the closest I ever was to being killed as a cop. I mean, I was. And I kid you not, I had premonitions of it. And I still did it. I thought I was going to get killed doing this, and I still did it. I mean, it was crazy.
So while it was going on, did you really think
I felt I was going to
get
get
die?
Yes.
I'm dead.
Yes.
Here, I'm dead.
That something told me I was going to get killed doing this.
Did you
That I even called my ex-wife and told her how the pension works in case I die, and I explained it to her. You know what I mean? That the kids would get my money. It was weird. I had this premonition I was going to die.
Did you stop after this happened?
Yes.
Did you get out and you were
Yes.
done? So it took something to get you out.
They had it because my undercover was up then, so they had to give me up. They had to take me off. I'd have kept doing it, but they had to take me off.
Okay.
But do you want me to tell you the quick story?
Yeah.
And I think I told this story, but it's so good. They got me in touch with a confidential informant. They call him a CI. The guy was arrested for a bunch of things,
Sure.
and he's trying to work the charges off. If he gives us a big drug dealer, we drop all the charges against him.
Okay.
So when you're working with these CIs, they're bad guys too.
Yeah.
You got to realize that they're a bad guy.
Yeah.
You are working with a bad guy. You have to trust a bad guy.
Yep.
Okay?
Which is very difficult.
Yes.
Yep.
So they put me with this guy, and he drove this beat-up car. We wanted to get this big drug dealer in town. He was selling to everybody, Don. Everybody. We had to get him. But he was smart. He wouldn't sell to anybody unless he knew them. So we went a couple times, and this guy, the CI, would buy from him because he trusted him. And I would sit in the car. And we wanted to get this guy used to me being there. So we would pull up, he would make the buy. He would make the buy. And we kept making these buys. And I would sit in the car. So the one day they said to me, "Hey, you give him a call today. See if he'll sell to you." And I'm like, okay. And we bought $50 the day before film.
How many times would you say you were back and forth in this guy's presence before they
6 or 7 times.
So it was a substantial amount of time where the guy sees your face and he's yet to be arrested.
And this guy told him that I'm just his friend. Okay, so this is my buddy, blah, 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 blah. So he's seen me, okay? He's seen me a bunch of times. So anyway, I call him. And I'm like, "Hey, remember we bought from you yesterday?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Could you do a hundo today? 100. Could you do 100 today?"
I know what hundo means.
Okay. So he's like, "Yeah, we could do it." And he's like, "I'm mobile today, though. I'm not at my house." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Meet me in the corner of Green Street and such." I remember Green Street. I can't remember the other cross street. But he said Green Street and such and such. Now, it was the daytime, believe it or not. This was the daytime, right? So when you work undercover, we have surveillance vans following us, okay? And I'm working undercover. I have a wire on me, too. I'm wired up.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so I have a wire on me.
Doesn't
the whole
that
9
create a ton of anxiety just having a wire? It's
yeah. Honestly, being undercover is stressful.
I'm not going to get into it, but I've been mic'd up once, and it is terrifying.
It's stressful.
Terrifying. Yeah,
it's
because
stressful.
you know all it takes is someone they know, and then you're totally blown. Okay.
So they had me wired and everything. We start driving to meet this guy. Don, we pull in. Did you ever watch Training Day with Denzel Washington? Yeah. Remember the car they drove with the spinning tires and all that stuff? That's what car pulled next to me. Okay, so we're sitting there and they pull up with the spinning tires, just like you see on TV, right? And I look, and he's never had somebody else with him. He always sold alone. This time he had another guy with him.
Yeah.
So I go to get out. I have the $100 bill. I go to get out of the car. When I do, he goes, and we're like, "What?" He goes, "Follow me." And I'm like, "What?" He wants us to follow him. Now, in drug dealing 101, when you're surveillance drug dealers, you make the buy wherever you said. You don't go somewhere else. But I knew these guys wanted this guy so bad. So the confidential informant looked at me and goes, "Do you want me to follow him? We're not supposed to." And I'm like, "Follow him." So I make a decision to follow.
Oh, God.
And listen, my gut's like telling me, Danny, you're gonna get killed. My whole gut's telling me this, right?
And now, not to be weird, but then you got bad guy at risk too, because they're gonna clip him now.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm putting him in danger.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm putting him in danger.
Shit, you're in one right now. Okay.
I'm making bad decisions. I'm making bad decisions, right? We start following this guy, following him, and I'm trying to see if the surveillance people are following me. I can't see them. My other cops that are undercover, right, that are supposedly following me, right, and the wire they're listening to. So all of a sudden, this guy goes and he goes up this small little alley, and he parks in this alley. And this confidential informant, I know he's scared. This guy's scared too. He looks at me, he goes, "You want me to follow him up this alley?" He looked at me like, "Are you crazy? You want me to follow this guy up this alley?" And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So we park right behind him. I get out of the car. I go up to the passenger side. Go up to the driver's side. He rolls down the window. I said to him, "Okay, here's the 100. I wanted to real quick." And he goes to me, "Get in the car." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Get in the car." I'm like, "I'm not getting in the car, man. The cops are going to come up. We're all going to get arrested. Here, I just want to do this quick." He goes, "Get in the car." So I open the back door. I get,
God,
now you got a
Danny.
passenger, you got the driver, you got a passenger. I get in the back door, and when I do, they always tell you not to act like a cop, okay? Don't do cop things when you're working undercover. This is where I did a cop thing, and I think I got them suspicious. I get in the car, and I was afraid to close the door, Don, because then they have me. They lock that door, they have me hostage.
Yeah.
So I put my foot out of the door, and I lean the door against my leg.
Which is a cop thing.
Yeah, so I'm half in the car and half out of the car, okay? And he turns around, he looks at me, and there's a big bag of crack. I swear to God, it looked like a gumball machine, right? He looks at me, and he goes to me, and he turned this way for some reason. His passenger was here, he turned this way, and he goes to me, he looks at me, he goes, "You're not the guy I usually sell to." Like right away, he finally recognized that I wasn't the usual guy.
Okay.
And he says to me, "I don't want to sell to you, I want to sell to the other guy." I said to him, "Man, he's such an addict." I said, "The last time I gave him $100, he ran, he stole my $100. This is my $100. I'm not giving it to him." Yeah. That's what I told him.
So you're acting all crappy
Yes,
yourself.
yes. I said, "I just want to get high."
And now, were you heavy at this time? You totally didn't look like a crackhead?
I was medium. I was probably about 2.25 then.
Oh
So I was about 45 pounds
really-
heavier than
It's
this.
a really healthy looking crackhead.
Yes.
Oh my god. So not only are you going in
I'm a fat crackhead.
Oh my god.
I was like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Of crackheads.
Yes. And these guys were still selling me crack. Idiots. But anyway, where am I at here?
So you're at the door, you pull the cop
Yeah.
thing, they turn this way.
So they turn and he's saying, he said, "I want to sell to the other guy, blah, blah, blah." And he goes to me, "Okay," he said, "then let me see your crack pipe." He goes, "I want you to smoke crack with me in the car." I'm like, "We can't smoke crack, of course." I said to him, "Listen, dude, I'm going to work. This is for after work." I said, "You're..." And
oh my god, crackheads don't go to work, Danny. You're doing cop shit. Crackheads don't work.
So I said to him, I said, "Listen, man, I just want to get high after work, this and that." I said, "Just sell me it now." I said, "You're making me nervous." I kept saying, "You're making me nervous, man." And I'm hoping they're hearing this on the wire.
Yeah.
Right? So, they're not. We'll get to that. So we're going back and forth, and finally he says to me, "Are you sure you're not a cop?" I'm like, "Here it comes," right?
Fuck.
I never had anybody ask me that, ever.
Yeah.
Okay? He goes to me, "Are you a cop?" I'm like, "I'm not a cop, man. What the hell? I'm not a cop. I just want to get high. What the hell?" And I start doing my Danny stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I think you're a cop, man." I said, "I'm not a cop. I said, I just want to buy drugs today. What? You guys are making me nervous. Do I look like a cop?" I kept saying to him. Don, I got tunnel vision. I kept looking at this guy. The passenger reaches between the seats, pulls out a 9mm, sticks it to my chest. And
Did you have your gun in your back?
yes, I had a gun on me. And he says to me, "If you're a cop, I'm going to effing kill you right here." And Don, when he was yelling at me and pointing the gun at me at the same time. So he was like, "I'm going to kill you right here." And I was thinking to myself, this guy might shoot me by accident. You know what I mean? Because when he's pointing a gun, he might pull the trigger. So he's like pointing it, he's holding the gun at me, telling me he's gonna kill me, blah, 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 blah. And I just put my hands up and I started laughing. And I said, "Oh my God, you guys got guns and shit." That's what I said. They got guns and shit. That's basically what I said. And I had my hands up. And
so is your team listening, or they're not there?
They're not there. They lost me. That's what I was gonna get to the point. I'm on my own. I'm on my own.
And where's Crackhead with you?
He's still in the car. He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
He
He's in
didn't
his
bounce.
car.
I would have left.
You would have left me.
Bye, cop.
He wanted to get off on his charges. So he was staying there.
Oh my god.
So this guy's yelling. I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, oh my god, you guys got guns and shit. What? I just want to buy crack. You guys are holding me hostage. And I start like laughing for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably because you thought you were gonna die anyway. You might as well go out laughing.
So anyway, Donnie yells at me for like 5 minutes. I go back and forth with the dude. I'm back and forth. Next thing I know, he believes me. And Donnie goes to me, okay, you better not be. And he puts the gun away between the seats.
Did you get the crack?
So then I'm like, I was getting the F out of here. That's what I'm thinking. Get me the hell out of here. That's all I'm thinking. I'm like, guys, you made me really nervous. I said, if you really want to sell to the other guy, I'm just going to give him the $100. I'm going to go back to the car and let him come up.
Wow.
And they're like, okay. And I'm like, all right. So I get out of the car, and Dawn, I had them. I got to stand up. You know me, I'm too animated. When I got out of the car, I had a gun. Now, I think the veteran cop in me decided not to do this, but I could have pulled my gun on them.
Yeah.
Because they put their gun away. I could have killed them. I mean, I could have pulled the gun.
Now, legally,
Yes.
could have you killed them because they threatened to kill
I
you?
wouldn't kill them, but I would have said, put your hands up. I could have took them down right there.
By yourself with a crackhead
Yes.
here.
But I chose not to do this. I figured
I wouldn't have done that either.
they would have grabbed their gun, would have been a shootout. I
you
could have
would've
got
died,
shot.
yeah.
They could. This guy, like you said, he's still my responsibility, this guy.
Yeah.
The CI. So I chose not to do it, okay? So I went back to the car, I sit down, and he looks at me, the CI, and I'm like, pull out, I said. And he goes to me, what's wrong? I said, they have a gun, pull out. He said to me, okay, so we start pulling out. They follow us, Don. They follow us. They're on our bumper. I'm thinking to myself, geez, they're going to shoot in the car. I mean, this is crazy. So I get on my cell phone, and I call my surveillance team, and they're like, where the hell are you at? I'm like, where are you guys at? They're like, we lost you. You went up some alley. We don't know
So
where
they
the hell you are.
didn't hear anything.
They didn't hear
That's
anything.
So
they said the only
dangerous.
thing we heard gun at one point. I'm like, he has a gun. So they're like, we're coming. So they're coming. Where you at? Blah, blah, blah. So they're following us. And I said to the kid, the CI, I'm like, pull into this lot. There was a bank coming up. I said, pull into the bank lot. I said, make a quick U-turn and face them and duck. So I told him, I said, we're going to be in a
What
shootout.
the fuck?
So,
And duck?
And duck, I told the kid, I said, we're going to get in a shootout.
Kid? How old was he?
In his 20s.
Oh my god, Danny, you can't leave out that someone's baby.
So he pulls in the lot, he makes the U-turn, Don. I jump out of the car, I pull my gun at these guys, and they get going. They didn't pull in, they left. They didn't pull in the lot. I was gonna get in shoot-out with them.
Can you imagine hearing that conversation between the two of those? The one that was like this with the gun.
Yes.
I knew that motherfucker was a cop. I knew it. And the other guy was like, oh my god, I didn't think so.
So then they pull them. Our guy, surveillance team goes, gets them. The guy with the gun throws the gun and runs.
Yeah.
They don't catch him.
Yeah.
He escapes. They get the driver. 2 weeks later, we make another buy off him and arrest him. He continued to make drug buys.
With you around.
Yes. So we got him like 2 weeks later on another drug buy, and then they arrested him for pulling the gun.
Wow.
But then when they
That's
arrested him,
terrifying.
the whole area, our city was a small city, Don.
Yeah.
So once my undercover was up, it was all over.
Yeah.
Like all the drug dealers would have known my
They
face
would've
that I
known
was
you, and
undercover.
that
Yeah.
was- yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been too dangerous to put me undercover anymore.
Yeah.
So that's when I left.
That is so insane. So let me ask you, like, you're born and raised the way you are, and I believe you're a natural born actor, just being near you and knowing you, because I watch you, I don't know, okay, whatever. You're a natural born actor, but when you're going undercover, like, how do you just assimilate with that surrounding? So all of a sudden, you're Danny, you act like this, you're with me, we act like this, and then all of a sudden, me and you in a crack house. Like, I won't do well. I'm not going to do good in the crack house. First of all, you know, I'm OCD, clean. I'll be like, oh my God, this is dirty. Pick up the mattresses. You know, it'd be weird for me. How are you going to get by in a crack house? Like, I can't see you ever just transforming into someone that knows about that kind of stuff. Do you do your research first?
Of course.
So how do you research for, okay, you're going to go be a, like, undercover meth nowadays. How do you do your research?
Well, you got to know about the drug and you got to know the lingo. So they send us.
Where do you learn it?
They send us to classes. We had to go through an 8-week training just on drugs.
So now do they take an addict to teach those classes?
Yes. Liv went through this super high class. Like, she is like the most decorated undercover ever. She went through like major classes.
So they actually have like meth heads, crackheads, whatever it is,
We have
teaching
classes.
the cops
Yeah.
how to then. What's the lingo? Tell me about. Well, yours is gonna be old school, right? Because it was quite a
Yeah,
few
I mean,
years ago.
it's been.
So what
since-
did you learn?
Probably 10 years since I've been a cop.
This is so interesting to me. It's just like acting to me. This is fascinating. So
Well,
what
like,
did you learn?
well, one thing is you got to realize the prices, and it's so weird. Like, I hate to say this, but it's true, and I don't want people get offended by this, but like they actually charge white people more for drugs, and I knew that too. Like say like
Do they
crack,
really?
yes, they like $20 maybe for
So
rock
if I ever
you're
want
white.
to buy
Yes.
drugs, they got to send to black or Hispanic friends of mine, so I don't.
They'll
get
charge white
overcharged.
people even more because they know you want it. They know why you're in the neighborhood. You got to learn everything about the whole thing. You know how it works, and they are very suspicious. Of course they are.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
would you say most good drug dealers are on the drug, or they're not?
they're not on the drug. I would
So
say.
that's why they're able to maintain a business like this rather than being cracked out like the
Yeah.
rest of them that are trying to get the drug. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it's the being undercover is it's the scariest thing I ever did. Honest to God, it's bad. And I'll tell you the truth. The next day, I don't know if I told you. Did you ever watch the show Lost?
Yes.
Okay, remember how they really didn't know they were dead and they're
Yeah.
in an asylum,
Yeah.
and at the end of the show, they find out they're all dead. Do you remember
Were you
that?
feeling that way?
Yes.
I have had that feeling once before. Yes, I know what you mean. Where you feel like, did I make it out of that? Like, is this real? Am I
Yes.
here? And then you're like calling your people to see if they'll like pick up or like, yes,
Dawn.
that happened to me once before.
Don,
Yes.
I don't honestly. I talked about it, but it was very intense. Like I'm surprised I made it out of that, and it was so funny because the next day I went to Amish country because I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So we had the Amish horse and
Yeah.
buggy, right? So I went to Amish country to get some goodies. They have great meats. I love Amish country. So I got out of
This
Amish
just
country.
sounds so funny to me. I'm sorry. One day you're like getting held up by freaking crack cartels, whatever you want to call them. The next day you're in Amish country.
Amish
I
country,
love it.
yes. So do you remember that reality show, the Amish Mafia?
Yes.
That was filmed in our area.
No way.
Yes.
That was cool. Yeah.
Oh, you know what else? Remember Kate and what's his name? +8, Kate. And,
Johnny K plus 8.
they were my neighbors.
You're lying.
I swear to God, they were like 2 blocks away from me, neighbors. Like not, they're my neighbors.
Wow. She does well now. Kate.
Does she really?
Yeah, she does well.
I didn't
Yeah.
like her. I
Yeah.
was with John. I took John.
Did you watch the show?
No, not really.
Yeah, John, he was I'm not going to get it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like any of them. My mother liked that. John and Kate plus 8. She would like know all. There was Eden and Aiken and whatever their
Yes.
names are. My mother knew all the kids. And like, what are you doing, Mom? Watching Aiden. I'm like, okay, I knew she was
Yeah, they
watching
lived
Johnny
right by
Kate.
me. They lived
Yeah,
right by
that's
me there.
cool. Okay.
But the next day I go to Lancaster, to the Amish country. I'm walking around the shops all by myself too. I was by myself because I was going through my divorce at the time, and I'm walking through the shops and everything, and I like this feeling. I'm like, am I really alive?
Yeah.
I got like, am I the
Yeah.
characters on Lost? Did I die in that? And I didn't even realize I died because I honestly I don't know how I got out of it.
Yeah.
I don't. To this day, I don't know how I talked my way out of that.
So terrifying.
And I did somehow. I bullshitted my way out.
You have to like always look at those things and say like there's a strong reason you're still here because
Yeah.
that sounds everything equating up to the point that they just let you go and you started laughing. That's probably why they let you go. It seems like you were gonna die that whole way through, and
Yeah.
I was scared the other guy was gonna getting taken out with you.
Right.
Too. And now
Oh, they
it's
would've
too
killed
late.
him, too.
Yeah, both of you. That
Yeah.
sounds like if that was real life. Which in this real life, it sounds like you should have been dead there. So being that you're not, there's got to be like an appreciation. Like you made it out kind of unscathed.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've obviously have seen a lot and stuff, but that's so scary.
That was one. I had a bullet fly over my guy shot at me too. So I had a bullet fly over my head too. So I had a guy try to stab me,
Yeah.
and then I had another guy try to shoot me. I had to wrestle a gun off him. You know how you see on TV where the bullet? Oh yeah. I
That's
wrestled.
terrifying, huh?
Me and this guy had a gun. He had his hands on it. I had my hands on it. It was his gun, and we wrestled over the gun, and I won.
Do you feel like the police department maybe really does? Maybe the rules are like a little bit loose, like, or were you just the kind of cop like, no, keep going, because you could have prevented some of that by not going up the hill or getting in the van or.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, you were pushing your limits.
Yes, I
They
was-
don't encourage that in the academy and stuff to push your limits to the point to get the bad guy. That
No,
was just
no.
you being Danny.
One thing about being a cop, it's always safety. Safety, everything.
Okay.
Safety's everything.
So that was you being just a little bit.
Yes.
Did
Safety's
you do that
everything.
a lot? But I'm sincerely happy for you. I hope this Paramount thing works out well. I was thinking to myself as you're talking, I'm going, oh, I I know what's going to happen here between Paramount and what I do and people hearing your stories and knowing that you played a crackhead. Danny's upcoming movie, you are going to be like this big meth head, like neck scratching.
Listen, this is what I want to do.
Play it.
Look,
you can do it.
I'm growing the beard out a little bit. I'm going to wear my beanie. I'm thinking they're talking about rebooting the Sons of Anarchy. I would be perfect. I put the beanie on. I'll grow the beard a little bit. Me and Jax together, we'd be good. We'd be a good set.
Yeah, that is actually.
That's one of my favorite shows.
Doesn't it film out in Atlanta? I think it does. I actually
Does
think
it really? But it's
I
supposed to be
think I know
California,
someone.
right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be California, but I think it's in Atlanta. Friends of mine. Pete
They're
Pitts,
talking about
shout out,
rebooting
Pete
that.
Pitts, I think. I'll ask him. A friend
Did
of
you
mine.
know that?
What? They're rebooting it.
They're talking about bringing it back.
Is that legit why you're growing this out? Because I'm growing a beanie?
No.
Why not? I'll try to hook it up. You know me. If we can get in there, I'll try to hook it up.
No, what they're doing is, do you remember how it ended? I don't know if you ever watched it. He dies.
I did. Yes.
Jack dies.
Yes.
What they're going to do is they're going to say that was a dream. That Jack never died.
So he's back.
That's what they're talking about. And they're talking about, I hope they do it because I love that show.
Yeah.
That show was, and Married with Children, Katie Seagal, you know, she died in that.
Yeah.
He kills her. He kills his mother in the show, right? They're saying that was a dream too, and they're bringing her back.
So they come back.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Please, I want to be on Sons of Anarchy. I'll go to some counselor to help me memorize lines or something.
You would be great. You can play those kind of roles now. Now we know.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird for me to think about that. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, I know you can act deep down inside because you could do anything.
I know I could act. I just can't memorize lines.
Yeah.
Because you're acting in your videos.
Yeah.
You know? So
You're acting in all because
Yeah.
Because that's another thing I'm looking and I'm like, some of them are so different. Like you're this sweet, nice singer, and then he's screaming, and then he's pissed, and then you're compassionate. You have empathy. You get compassionate on certain cases.
I do.
You show it.
I get
a lot of
emotional on
emotion.
cases.
You do.
The one girl said I make her cry sometimes. She put in a
No,
comment.
I don't know. I thought it's because I know you and I care for you. But when you get like whatever, I get welts up. I'm like, what is he talking about? Even if my volume's not up, I'm like, wait, Danny's upset. What's going on? I get like that too. I thought it was just because I knew you, but I guess that's the effect you have.
I guess we have a couple minutes after this then? All right, cool. All right, we'll be back. And I got to I'm doing an interview tonight.
Oh, we're going to talk about Danny's interview when we come back. How many minutes? We'll be back in 2 minutes. Someone's got to pay the bills. Let's do this. Vegas Views 2024. Four.
Joe, social media. Well, I thank all of you for your support. Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran. Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deep Star, a bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deep Star for years. They can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is.
If we find the Deep Star, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
girlfriends of the guy breaks into the house. They're frozen to death in the backyard. He's upstairs. And his friends are all three in the frozen death for 2 days. And he's saying he didn't know they died back there. How does that happen? I mean, were they drunk? What happened? And the police did not arrest them. They're saying there's no signs of foul play.
There's no signs of foul play. There's just 3 dead people in the backyard frozen, and he didn't know they were back there.
That's what he's saying.
Did they were over there, and he knew they were over there, and they supposedly left or something?
Yes.
Or
he said, I didn't even know what door they went out when they
now,
left.
who are you interviewing tonight? What is
One
that?
of the baby's mamas, okay, she called of one of the guys. She has a child with them, but she loves this guy. You could tell. She's putting videos up on TikTok about it. She wants
so this is a hard loss for her.
Yes.
This is someone
this
that
is
she
her.
loves
This
died.
is her
I'm
child's
so sorry.
father. This is her child's father.
Oh my God.
So she said, "Are you going live tonight?" She DM'd me.
Yeah.
And she follows me.
Yeah.
And I said, "No." I said, "But I can." She goes, "Hi," and then she introduced herself. This was my child's father that passed away. She goes, "I'd like to give my 2 cents. Could you have a big platform?" And I'm like, so supposedly I'm meeting not live tonight at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock again. Danny's got so much good stuff going on in this business. 6 o'clock tonight, guys. Where can we how can we
TikTok.
log on? Go on TikTok, Danny Miner.
At the Crime Solver.
At the Crime Solver, and then she's gonna live with you, and then we're gonna get her story and see what from her and what it looks like and what happens. And do you think that's gonna give us some insight, right?
I think so.
The truth.
Yeah, see what she says,
Yeah.
And look, I mean, to me, it's great that she chose me to talk to. Could you imagine?
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a national case.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Has she talked to any other larger platform media sites
idea.
yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
She said I don't think she did because she says, I think I want to do this. Because so she wants to tell her story.
Yeah.
I don't know why she chose me, but I'm very happy.
One, because you have an amazing following and you have really, really good, solid followers. And 2, you're not a jerk. You're kind of a nice person. And a lot of these times they spin stories, especially
I'm sure there's people
with
that wouldn't
national
agree with
media. Yeah, no, I'm sure there are too. Just like me. I'm sure you think I'm great, right? A lot of the world doesn't. No, but no, you're actually a nice, compassionate person to interview and to interview with. And also, sometimes maybe she wants that kind of platform because it'll be built the truth.
Yeah.
You know, they spin it on some networks and things like that, especially Good Morning America and those things. Nothing against Good Morning America at all, but maybe they'll spin the story and they cut and whatever, and you're just going raw with her, right? Live, raw, whatever she says.
Whatever she says, I'm going to go live with her.
Yeah.
And when you go live on TikTok, it's really neat because they'll ask if they could come on, you accept, and then they pop up right next to you. So it's her face and my face will be right there.
Absolutely. Guys, please, tonight, 6 o'clock, log on to this. This is going to be epic.
One last thing to make your head spin, and then I know you want to talk. I got to make Donna Maria's head spin, okay? This is my UFOs. You know I can't get off this. And you guys are all going to apologize to me someday. I know yous are. But for saying that I'm crazy. This is the rumor. This is how they're going to come out to us.
Rumor.
This is
the rumor.
This is the rumor. On TikTok. All the UFO, because I follow all the UFO creators on TikTok. Every single one of them, I watch all their videos. Supposedly the government is going to tell us, they're going to come out and tell us that they have a 30-foot craft, alien craft. They're going to tell us. And I told you this before, and this is where your head's going to spin. This is where your head's going to spin. They say when you go into this 30-foot craft and you open its doors, it's the size of 2 football fields. So when you see it, it's only 30 foot, but when you go in it, it's the size of 2 football fields.
Danny, I'm not laughing at you, but you know what? Last night on the TV, what was that movie where the Transformers?
Is that what you're thinking of?
Oh, like a picture is a guy with the huge Transformer, and then he goes
changes up.
Yeah, and he changes up, and then he says to the kid, "I thought we were more than that. You were inside of me." 'Cause he was like, I didn't mean to laugh off what you were saying, but I don't believe that. You couldn't pay me $1 million to believe that.
That's what they're saying. They're coming out.
They're lying.
They're saying they're coming out with this UFO, and you're gonna open it up, and it's gonna be 2 football fields, and our government is gonna. This is how they're gonna let us know.
Did you play with Transformers when you were younger? Danny, please watch the Transformer movie tonight. It's such a hysterical. I think I ate your pot.
What happened here? I think they're both high today. Listen, you're gonna both apologize to me someday.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I am right.
As of right now, no, Danny. Where is it? Where are they hiding this thing?
I told you there is even a bigger one that they have a building built over.
The mom of the.
Yes. There's a building built over.
Where?
And listen, this is what.
Where? In Alaska? Where did you tell me the
South Korea.
In South.
I'm kidding you. It's in South Korea, and they built a building over it, so we wouldn't know. Now listen. I don't know why people laugh at this. I don't know.
No clue?
No clue at all. I don't know why people laugh. Your government is telling you this. I didn't say this. Your government told you this. Your government told you this is real, and people care more about Donald Trump than they care about these UFOs. That's the truth.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's real, Danny. He's real.
Listen.
Donald Trump, he's in the flesh. We can watch him. We can see him. These things are hiding out the Transformers.
Listen. Why do you think these Air Force guys came out and said this then? Why do you think? Like, did you think they were just sitting there one day in their garage and say, let's come up with this story?
Shock value, entertainment. Maybe they want to steal your followers.
Let's just come up with this story. There's this UFO and there's 200 yards in it. I believe this is true. I believe that, again, we were lied to our entire lives. Nothing, not one. And you know what else? Our history books, that's bullshit,
Danny,
too.
I never thought this before, but now I'm calculating here. I'm like, all right, there was some crack, supposed not usage back a couple of years ago.
Listen.
Maybe it all adds up, and here we are.
Listen.
Maybe there's something you're not telling us. Maybe we're not nomads.
Here, no, we're definitely not no Mets. But listen, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna see. You're gonna see. I follow this.
For the sake of you, I hope so, because you will be so rich and successful, because you would be standing there saying the whole time, oh, this is happening, the world's laughing at you, and you'd be right. And I hope so for the sake of you. Until then, I think it's nuts, and I think that you believe in Transformers.
Listen, done. Why do you think it's nuts?
Because, Danny, come on.
Why would they come out and say this then?
For this.
Why would they come out and say this?
That everything else in the world is just, they come out and say it. Stories. They're not
So
real.
you don't think not one of this is, well, you're religious.
A little bit.
Oh.
What do you mean, well, I'm religious?
if there's aliens, that throws a thing in the religion.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No, because I'm Christian enough to say this is my religion, and I have a deep enough connection with God to say that. Now you're laughing at me. Now you're laughing at me. But I have a deep enough connection with God to say, okay, I'm going to put my religion to the side for 1 second, still right here with God and my belief system, and I can look at this, and I just don't believe it. In South Korea, there's this massive dome that's hiding this big alien.
There is.
It's not real, Danny.
Yes, it
Donald
is.
Trump is real.
Listen, you guys are all going to see.
I hope so.
Do you know,
I will apologize
did you ever
to you.
see
I was
the
a
interview
Danny.
with Obama?
Listen.
Obama admitted this. He admitted it, the UFOs.
There's
He admitted
nothing Obama can ever say that I'm going to believe.
Well, I don't like Obama either.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I just don't believe his ass.
Oh, I don't like him.
Oh. See, he doesn't like Obama. I just don't trust him.
Listen, Obama was popular because he has a good personality.
Yeah.
He does.
He has a really good personality.
Yeah, he's a good personality.
He was a good-looking president. He was a young president. He had a good family.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
People liked him. He had a good
Yeah,
personality.
I just don't believe a word he says. There's a couple of lies that can never be taken back between me and President Obama.
All right, so we definitely don't believe in UFOs, guys. I'm going to keep coming with these stories. I send
Okay.
them to Dawn. I don't even know if she watches them.
Some of
When I
them-
find TikTok videos, I send them.
Right now, with exciting news, right now I have about 270 unread messages in my phone right now, to be completely honest with you. I have good news I want to share. Well, you know
Go
this,
ahead.
but I want to share. Maria knows this. I left Dream Tracks Academy, and you guys know I was working very closely with Dream Tracks Academy. I am no longer working with and from Dream Tracks Academy. I am in my own studio now. Okay, it is called Rise Talent. So.
Oh, Rise Talent.
Rise Talent, yes.
I like that name.
The name is very personal to me. I know it's just very whatever, but Rise is very personal to me. Anybody that knows me will know why Rise is very personal to me. I'm by myself now. TV, commercial, film, acting, modeling. I've incorporated with Maria now. We're doing videography. Obviously, Danny will be working with me as well. But we have beautiful new space. I'm very, very excited. So when I say, guys, get in touch with me, it's still going to be Dawn Sullivan _ or you can go to risetalentmanagement.com. My website's up and running right now. You can get in touch with me there, or guys, please. The best way is Dawn Sullivan _ on Instagram, but we're slowly launching everything. I'm working with some really great big names. Super, super excited about this move. Super positive thing for me. IMTA went well. Still doing IMTA New York in July. So anybody interested in that, get in touch with me again, Dawn Sullivan _ Do not forget to make sure 6 o'clock tonight you log on to Danny's TikTok.
That's true.
Watch the TikTok. This is going to be epic. This is going to be big for Danny. And then also February 6th, Discovery or Discovery Plus?
Oh, no, Paramount Plus.
Sorry, I'm thinking Discovery. I have something else in the works with Discovery. I'm so sorry. Paramount Plus. Teresa, thank you so much for your support to Danny and I. But Paramount Plus, guys, log in February 6th. Watch that. And also check out The Hamptons. That's an awesome show. Thank you so much to Maria and Social Media Shows. And I am super, super excited about what the future holds. I'm excited for all these moves and all these cool things going on. I can't wait either. This is going to be awesome. And what's the name of Jason's show? They got to check out Jason's show too. Rise and Shine with Jason. He has someone coming on this week coming up. Victoria Seaman. What day is that? Tuesday, guys. Log into that. Super, super excited about all this stuff, guys. And Danny, how can they get in touch with you?
Just at The Crime Solver. Listen, go on tonight. This will be an epic interview if it goes down. Hopefully it will.
Social media shows, guys. If you guys are looking to advertise at all, you guys want to advertise your law office, you want to advertise retail space, you want to advertise talent. Also a big thing, if you are a masseuse, fantastic way to get your word out there. If you do facials, fantastic way. If you do lip injections, Social Media Shows is connected also now to my, going to be connected to my TikTok and to my Instagram. Social Media Shows, you can advertise. It's not that expensive to advertise here, but it's a great platform that will be now linked to my 171,000 followers, and you guys can get your advertisements done there. Just get in touch with myself or Maria over that, and we'll get you guys all set up. But it is good for small, independent people, hairstylists. I'm just saying the girlier version of it, but anything you do, anything in the business. We work with a lot of lawyers, things like that, and you just want to pipe your social media up, come to us and we'll help you get that social media and that following up. Okay, guys, until another Vegas Views, this has been an epic journey. I'm so excited for the future with these guys moving forward. Social Media Shows, Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner. Thank you so much for having us.